I actually expect to have one next year at this time. So it's going to be called momentum. And right now, Rhode Island has the most momentum that I've ever seen in terms of many areas. I'm glad that Dr. Monge and the President, thank you for mentioning the $100 million bond. That's my budget. Let's talk a little bit about my budget. And let's talk about how that's laying the groundwork for this momentum to continue. That Bay campus, by the way, I think there's we have the largest surplus managed this year in the history of the state of Rhode Island. I think I got about $2 to $7 million more to go to that Bay campus. That's in that surplus as well. But let's talk about where we were and where we are right now. In March of 2021, I became governor in the largest state of emergency in the history of the state of Rhode Island. We had 90,000 doses of vaccine in inventory when I showed up. We reshaped the entire process. It wasn't easy. We are now number one in the country in vaccination. That's momentum. And what did that help us do? It catapulted us. We lead the Northeast in an economic recovery. Second in the country. We have the lowest unemployment rate in the history of the state of Rhode Island. And there are still good paying jobs available. So yes, go to ri2030.com because that will be the roadmap that we'll be talking about in that, what do you call it, Ted? Ted's going to call it. And I'm going to tell them why. The momentum that we have right now is extraordinary. We are investing in the people of the state of Rhode Island. We're going to be raising people's incomes. We're investing in URI, Rhode Island College. We're rethinking Rhode Island College. And CCRI is going to lead the way in many ways. Just as the announcement that CCRI was making the other day. $1 million going into training for offshore wind education. Partnering in public-private partnerships, by the way, which I believe. So education is going to be top priority, as it always has been for me. Just saying the word education, education, education doesn't make you someone who understands what education is all about. So we're going to make sure that our schools continue to improve. I am the only one on here on this panel that actually has chaired a public school board. I went to public schools, my wife went to public schools, actually been Susan in public school. My kids went to public school, my wife Susan's a teacher. I value education. I was a basketball coach before I was a governor. Hundreds of games, boys and girls, diverse teams, thousands of hours on the court. That was 20 years ago. And then I realized I'm glad that my panel up here is finally understanding how far behind we were. I'm the only one that's opened up public schools and shared public schools. The schools that I opened up go directly to people who are low-income families. And thousands of families have already benefited. So with education, I'm not going to have to be a tutorial on education. I understand what to do, and I understand what to do in Providence. Providence schools will improve. The economy for our jobs, it's across the board. It's the blue economy. It's the green economy. We're investing in fisheries in Galley, $40 million. We're investing in offshore wind at South Key, in East Providence. We're going to have thousands of jobs as a result of that. I put legislation in this year. This is why momentum. I put legislation in this year to procure over 1,000 megawatts of energy offshore wind. It's going to electrify 500,000 homes in the state of Rhode Island. So, this is momentum. We have the momentum. We're going to keep the momentum. And I'm going to tell you right now, people are going to earn more money in this state. And when we put the $250 million that I put into the budget, remember, all of these things that are happening in the state of Rhode Island right now is a direct result of my management over the last 18 months and the budget that I got passed for the General Assembly. $250 million for housing, we're going to leverage that to $1 billion for housing. I've had the experience, I know how to do it. So, I'm looking forward to getting into this conversation in more depth. but momentum. We've got it, we're going to keep it. Thank you very much.